Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, October 31st. Happy Halloween. You can see part of it over here. Anyway, I'll show you the logos a little bit later. In any event, this week, let's talk about the search news. First up, Google's DMCA piracy algorithm, which I think I discussed a little briefly last week, actually went live the previous week. So if you notice anything around your torrent sites getting hit, for example, like these sites got hit majorly according to search metrics and stuff like that, you should definitely take a look at that. Google has updated their Google Webmaster Guidelines, specifically their technical guidelines around blocking CSS and JavaScript, specifically saying that when you block those, it could actually harm your rankings. So Google actually specifically said, disallowing crawling of JavaScript or CSS files in your site's robots.txt directly harms how well our algorithms render and index your content and can result in suboptimal rankings. The old guidelines talked about testing your website in a text browser. The new guidelines say, forget the text browser, make sure Google fully render your website and not blocking that stuff. Because again, Google now actually fully renders your website as a user would. That's why they came out with Fetch and Render a few months ago in May, and that's why we've been noticing webmasters saying, hey, Google is actually fully rendering our website. So to make sure you keep that in mind. Related to that on some level was that Google came out with new Webmaster Tools reports around mobile usability. And mobile usability reports actually show you, according to Google Webmaster Tools and their spiders, what issues you have around your around your mobile website. I'm not sure why the iPad is very slow always. I think I have to upgrade it. In any event, the new mobile reports look like this somewhat. So here's an example of a report what it looks like for Rusty Brick, doing pretty well, and a report for Search and Roundtable, not doing so good. The specific errors it gives you include, let me give it to you, Flash not supported, and that's something they've been doing for a while in the SERPs and giving Webmaster Tools notifications. The defined viewing area or viewpoint doesn't adjust properly. The content that flows in the viewpoint so that the user doesn't have to scroll or pinch the screen in order to see the entire time. Fonts and scale for easier reading on smaller screens. Easy to touch elements, i.e. buttons with like thumbs, I guess, and visual design and motion driven by mobile-friendly technology. So these are the types of errors you might see. Here's some example of errors on the Search and Roundtable. The viewpoint is not configured on one page. Touch elements are too close on a lot of the pages. Small font size, flash usage, I guess I embedded some flash things in the past, and content not sized to the viewpoint. So those things Google might look at and say, hey, in the future, maybe that might be part of the mobile UX ranking factor that I think will be coming out sometime in the future. Remember those flash warnings? Again, this is all somewhat related to these topics right here. Those flash warnings that Google used to do in the mobile results, so it looked like this, you know. For example, use Flash, make site not might work well. Well, that's now rolling out globally in more languages. There were two stages. They launched it in English US, then they launched it in, I think, English in a few other countries, and now it's actually rolling out in other languages as well, according to Google. So definitely be aware of that. That can have a major impact on your rankings or your actual traffic from Google. Google has launched, I don't know when this exactly was, but I was tipped off that Google launched a no site links search box meta tag. So if you remember that site link search box, you do a search, Google revamped how that works when you want to search within a site in Google. Google's now saying, hey, if you don't want that box to come up under your snippet, go ahead and implement this meta tag and we won't show it anymore. Google News Publisher Center, which is basically Google Webmaster Tools, the specific features for news publishers, has launched to more countries, specifically about 21 plus countries. The countries that it's specifically available for are the ones that have support for Google News Edition. So take a look at that and you'll be able to see more information around that. I wrote a blog post yesterday talking about how negative SEO is real. It really does happen in the industry. Is it working or not? That's up for debate, but it's definitely real. The perception out there is that SEOs are doing this. It's a bad thing, and I think Google really needs to fix it. At least if they don't admit it, even if it's not working, they need to fix the perception. How they're going to do that, I'm not exactly sure. I think it's more transparency within Webmaster Tools, more transparency around real like algorithmic actions like Penguin Panda and stuff like that. They have to be specific about that type of stuff in the future, I think, for this to become less of an issue going forward. So this is interesting. Some reader told me when they went to my website, Search and Roundtable, they got a 307 redirect. And I know I did not implement a 307 redirect. I implemented a 301 redirect when I migrated from HTTP to HTTPS. So I looked deeper into it. I looked it over with my programmers here, and they said the reason the person's getting a 307 redirect is because the browser specifically is caching that result because we're using something called an HTTP strict transport. So there's like different levels of doing HTTPS, and specifically around HTTPS. And if I wanted to get the A+ rating, the highest possible rating by Qualys SSL Labs, I had to implement this tag over here, which reads header set strict transport security, max age for a year, use HTTPS. And what that means is via the browser, a normal user goes to it on Chrome or whatever, they will get a 307 redirect according to the browser, which is not really interpreted right. But a real user will actually get it. If you look at the actual server response code, it's actually using a 301 on the server level. So Googlebot, when I tested it, is getting a 301. So here's a Chrome extension that really should be updated to support it. It shows a 307 redirect. Googlebot, specifically when I tested it, is actually showing a 301 redirect. These are the conditions I wrote. These are the actual configurations for the redirects and for setting the HTTP header set strict transport security level. So there's a 301, and there's that little if SSL strict it, make it even stricter. So it really doesn't impact Google, but I thought I'd write about that because people are noticing a 307 redirect as opposed to a 301 redirect on the Search Engine Roundtable. Next up, Google AdWords has added a multi-login support, so it's pretty cool actually. You can see here, so all you have to do is click on the little account, customer ID, up comes all your accounts, and you can just toggle between your different AdWords account, which is nice. Google also announced on the AdWords side a new report coming for automated ad extensions. So some ad extensions are actually automatic. You don't really opt into it. It just happens by itself. And Google promised that they're coming in the next few weeks or coming weeks a new report that actually lets advertisers figure out what's with their ad extensions. Google My Business had added some really neat features around the new My Business, Google My Business area, specifically review alerts and notifications. So if somebody leaves a review for you, you could be alerted on your mobile app or via email. Respond to reviews via your mobile app on Android or iOS. iOS came out last night. More data in the Insights section, such as phone tracking, driving direction heat maps, and more, as well as expanded AdWords Express app with 20 additional countries. So here's some screenshots of it in action. Scan through it. Here's like the phone tracking and heat maps. And here's a heat map from the desktop itself, and here's some AdWords data in the app. Again, this is also supported on iOS as well as of last night. Google AdSense Direct, it was basically AdSense allowing you to do direct ads directly through AdSense's console. That's being discontinued. I think it's being discontinued November 25th. So if you are using that, I'm sorry, it's going away. You can switch to Google DoubleClick for publishers and stuff like that. This is funny. So Pierre Farr wrote a blog post about the Google Webmaster guidelines being updated, and in there, if you look at the code, he used something called a rel agent. He used something called a rel super author. Again, this is to kind of not really make fun, but talk about how Google lost rel authorship, and you can see here rel super author was in his metadata. I guess he's looking to see if people pick it up. That people did pick it up. Before Google's John Mueller used the rel agent, they actually removed it after the fact. It's kind of upsetting because obviously Google removed authorship, and to show that is kind of like a slap in the face for some that actually loved authorship. Bing, on the other hand, now lets you search using emoji characters. So it's not just Bing, it actually is supported by Yahoo and DuckDuckGo as well. But Google does not support it. So here's searching for Apple on Google, nothing found. Bing shows apple.com, Yahoo shows apple.com, but DuckDuckGo gets it right, showing an actual information about what an apple is. You can even search for combinations of different emojis like ice cream sandwich, and that works pretty well, and so forth. So it's pretty fun. Nobody's ever going to use it, but it's one of those novelty things that are nice to see. Bing, on a sad note, has severed ties with Duane Forrester, the Bing webmaster, community manager, who actually was the face between Bing, the search engine, and SEOs and webmasters, the community. They got rid of him. Massive layouts they announced this past week, and Duane Forrester says he was hit by that. He's very thankful for his past 7 years working at Bing. He's not bitter. He's very, very thankful. But at the same time, he's nervous and a lot of other stuff going on, of course. I really think Duane will be fine. I think Bing is the one that has to worry now that they have got rid of that person. And to replace somebody like Duane in Bing is going to be a major challenge for them. I don't know if they have plans to do that or not, but Duane is a very loved character or personality in the community, and this is a big loss for Bing. I'm sure Duane will be fine. I wonder if Google will pick him up or not. Finally, let's talk about Halloween logos. So I posted all the Google Halloween logos. So here's a bunch of them. They have about 6 different Halloween logos for today, if you can refresh the homepage and see them. And these are all, I posted all the past year's doodles for Halloween. And let me show you the first one ever. This is the first Google Doodle Halloween logo ever back in 1999. Pretty funny. And finally, I have all the logos from all the search engines that have actually implemented them according to Google. Bing, you gotta check out Bing. It's just amazing. Bing.com, check it out. And Ask.com is nice. Dogpile is also nice. Sagoyu, which is I guess an Asian search engine. Mr. Jingles from Google Plus, and obviously Searching Roundtable. We have our ghost theme going on, which is pretty cute. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. Everyone have a nice Halloween. Be safe, and I'll see you guys next week. Again, today is Friday, October 31st, 2014. I'll see you guys next week, and have a great weekend. Bye.